Chupacabra.
All in a search for more in life. In the history of natural world to the supernatural, I found many weird things. But just because I don't know what it is doesn't make it supernatural. While the true heart of science is to always question even yourself. In the end, I have become an objective atheist. I am an atheist, but I want there to be more.
This one was best to transition from the normal, or as seen as, but I guess more correctly be an established speech, to one that starts getting a little strange, because this one actually has one out of, I've found, 4 possible origins, or whatever you want to call them, not really so much origins. But I've collected it, and originally I thought this would be an easy one. But I found, inevitably, it kept breaking into, unrelated accounts. I've taken many runs at this, trying to get it all within a 10-minute, coverage. But it just, every time it took more than 10 minutes, and it's probably still going to. So, with that in mind, it seems to me that these are being complicated from more so than it needs to be. Maybe because most of these encounters I will take up as being possibly feral dog attacks. A new species of feral dog was even discovered out of this. Even ones without witnesses to verify any other option I may give to the dog theory, but a few of these are not a dog. For that is definitely not what witnesses, or in some cases only a single witness, are saying they saw. When I broke these down, I came up with basically this one here, which I will call Chupacabra True, which we'll spend probably about half the time explaining why we broke it up. This is based upon the first encounter that's recorded. And this is the name that was assigned to the description she gave. Next is the supernatural, also known as, I found a lot of stories that had the same description and a similar behavior, but people were calling it something else. So in this case, there's the grunge, the Sijbin, even to take into account under a supernatural origin is the result of cultist, which is the more human of them, but to understand it better, you have to understand their mythical approach to the subject. As if we were like police officers, it'd be best to understand, we don't have to believe the faith. We should try to apply some effort to understanding how it may affect the world around us. Just saying it doesn't exist won't stop it from happening. The original reporting of it was not dog-like. Me labeled it as a dog, and if not for the eyewitness original description of the Chupacabra, also known as the goat sucker, is an animal said to be unknown to science and is systematically killing animals in places like Puerto Rico, Miami, Nicaragua, Chile, and Mexico, as well as some newer reports from Russia and all the way up into Texas. Even Florida, I've had some reports. The creature's name originated with the discovery of some dead goats in Puerto Rico with puncture wounds in their necks and their blood allegedly drained. There have been more than 2,000 reported cases of animal mutilations in Puerto Rico attributed to chupacabras. But as I said, not believing him does not bring back 2,000 animals. The situation here is there is a problem. What is it? March 1995 in Puerto Rico, in this attack, 8 sheep were discovered dead, each with 3 puncture wounds in the chest area and completely drained of blood. According to Ben Radford, the Chupacabra is modeled after the creature in the 1995 movie Species. The first eyewitness account of the creature was given by Madeline Tolentino in a Puerto Rican newspaper. Radford interviewed Tolentino and asked her if her accounts could have been influenced by the animal-human hybrid species and species. She had seen the movie in the weeks prior to making her description. Other reports in Puerto Rico and Latin America can be dismissed, says Radford, because they're all based on this movie. Although I don't know if everyone saw it, I really didn't think it was all that great of a film. It was all right. But was it impressive enough to make people doubt reality and see things differently? I haven't seen that quality of filmmaking since the Nazis. From this, I can assume the movie Species was just so incredible to the so-called simple people of Puerto Rico that they saw this monster in it in their backyards. Besides that, with that logic, if I saw a movie that showed me a bear for the first time in my life, then a few weeks later, I see someone attacked, and I say it was like the bear I saw in that movie. Does the fact that I have never actually seen a bear before, does that, and maybe even the movie one was not even real, does this make my story a lie because my information came from a movie? Let alone the encounter in New Orleans of the grunge, and in the Philippines, the sigbin. Sightings predate this movie and are similar description and activities, almost identical. Those will be dealt with more in detail under a supernatural listing. Who says what was the influence that Hollywood took in the design of this creature itself? Nothing is designed that has not existed in some way, somewhere. Believe me, it annoyed me, but my teachers in film school had one thing they all repeated to me every day: nothing is new. So their own system admits they copy from everything. Therefore, the creature from Species was not original, because as they kept telling me, nothing is. In actuality, the influence for the Species is H.R. Geiger and his work. But his ideas came from his nightmares. Nightmares he started having after his wife died. So don't worry, it's all just a dream. Even if it ends up that only one reliable case of the non-dog Chupacabra type creature was reported, that alone is worth investigating. Maybe what she saw and what everyone else saw is not the same thing. What she described is what the title Chupacabra I've tied to, because that is the first reported story tied to that name. Dogs were attacking goats and chickens before this, and still are. And I bet you people could go out and look at their chickens and would know the difference between a dog attack and something else. Some witnesses have seen a small half-alien, half-dinosaur, tailless vampire, kangaroo, or goat-like with quills running down his back, while standing and usually hopping or jumping. But still others have seen a hopping animal that leaves a trail of sulfuric stench. I think even the most backwards policemen, besides nurse, vets, rangers, and doctors, besides just a farmer from the worst third world country, can do their job well enough to know that either if these were dog attacks or not. Matter of fact, I would trust a doctor from there more than one from the US at determining animal attacks, for they deal with them more than my city doctor ever has. In addition, the reports of blood sucking by the Chupacabra were never confirmed by a necropsy. The only way to calculate that the animal was drained of blood, analysis by a veterinarian of 300 reported victims of the Chupacabra found that they had not been bled dry. In appearance, the most common description of the Chupacabra is that of a reptile-like creature, said to have leathery or scalish green-gray skin and sharp spines or quills running down the back. It is said to be approximately 3 to 4 feet and stands or hops in a similar fashion to that of a kangaroo upon the 2 rear legs. Doesn't sound like a dog. It is said to howl like a wolf, scream like a banshee, or bellow and screech like an ape when alarmed, as well as leave a strong stench. Many reports note that the chupacabra's eyes glow an unusual red, orange, or blue-green. Some witnesses have reported seeing bat-like wings and a tail, or long fur and goat-like markings in gray or black silky coat. This is why I divided this into many classifications. It doesn't sound like we're all describing the same thing. In April 2006, Mass News reported that the chupacabra was spotted in Russia for the first time. Reports from central Russia, beginning in March 2005, tell the beast that kills animals sucks out their blood. 32 turkeys were killed and drained overnight. Reports later from a neighboring village showed 30 sheep were killed and their blood drained. In May of 2006, experts were determined to track the animals down and fit the description activity. According to Russian paranormal researchers, Vadim Chernobrov, the territory allegedly frequented by the chupacabras lies in the Kharkiv region of Ukraine and neighboring region of Russia, but also in parts of Belarus and Poland. Recently, reports appeared of chupacabra-like attacks in the Moscow region of Russia, with dozens of birds and animals found bloodless. Strange incisions, at least twice the mysterious kangaroo-like creature with a lizard's head has attacked humans, causing no serious damage though. According to Chernobrov, the two extraordinary things about the chupacabra was the way the thing leaves a vanishing line of footprints, looking as if it takes off like a bird, and also it tends occasionally to assort its victims aesthetically, often by color and size, maybe even build pyramids out of the bodies. Sounds like everyone else should be happy that their goat sucker does not do this. Oh, and this was probably not a dog either. I should mention also, the line where they disappear reminds me of those appearances in London where they call it the devil. Its footprints would appear and go up, and they thought that one was a goat too. Who knows? They might have a part in this too. You can find many descriptions of encounters on the web, and you should. But in my opinion on this one, it was not a dog that the First Lady described. I think she knew what a dog was. Besides, things fitting this activity and appearance have been sighted around the world, and I don't think it's demonic activity, and I don't think everyone's wasted their time seeing that movie. If it exists, it's a flesh and blood creature that local urban legend have involved in their own local origin stories, just like animals around them. This gives credit to them being animals, not spirits or demons, because in their own myths, they'll tell you which ones are which.